Hi, my name is Dr. Robert Gillio. I live in State College, Pennsylvania now, 22 years after 9/11. 22 years ago, I got a call, and one thing led to another, and I ended up with a volunteer crew from Lancaster and around Pennsylvania that showed up at Ground Zero and helped set up a clinic monitoring patients with a telemedicine system that my daughter and I developed. I later wrote a book about it called Lessons Learned at Ground Zero to try and explain it to my kids and to others. We put lesson plans with it, and that's all included in something we call the Force for Health Network. I'm not here to sell a book. I'm not here to sell anything other than the following message. We are not yet prepared as a nation, as a people, and as first responders to deal with other disasters, human or natural in nature. I want to review for you one of the tools we've built inside of a place called the Lessons Learned Group. And for people that want to learn about how to take care of themselves so they can be volunteers and take care of others, or if they want to exchange stories, or if they want to learn how to prepare for other disasters, floods, hurricanes, street smarts for first aid or after a shooting or after fentanyl, or even just to train the brain and keep as bright and as knowledgeable as you can so that you can be a force for health for yourself and help others. The Force for Health Network has a tool called the 360 Human, and I'd like to just briefly review for you some of the effects of the dust on 9/11 and the fumes as well. Let me share my screen with you and take you right into our program and show you just what's going on with things. Here, we can take and have explanations regarding the Force for Health with great links to a variety of resources that are available on the web. The CDC, the New York City Health Department do a wonderful job. I'd like to review a couple things in greater detail and kind of go to full screen with some things. One, where did the dust affect the rescue workers and those 61,000 patients that are now in the World Trade Registry that was built in part with our tools? They went everywhere, to the ethmoid sinuses, the maxillary sinuses, the back of the throat, the nose, sore throats, stuffed nose, sinusitis, with short-term effects here, longer term down into the lungs, affecting a variety of things. For those that were smokers or asthmatics, things got much worse over time. The upper respiratory cleared quicker with washing things out, rinsing things out, nasal lavage, and steroids. As we look further, I'll show you how when you breathe, the air goes down into your bronchial tubes, and it goes right through your mouth, down in those bronchial tubes, way down into the chest, into the lungs. Here you see it going into the right lung, but showing it going all the way to the tiniest things called bronchioles, which go to the alveoli. This led to problems such as bronchiolitis, small airways disease, asthma, COPD. And some people with horrible exposures ended up with pulmonary fibrosis and sarcoidosis. It also affected areas not just at the lungs, but around the lungs. The pleura is the space here between the ribs and the lungs. And if you were to, let's say, do a little surgery and remove this and took a closer look, there's a fine, splashy, slimy, glistening film here on the lungs called the pleura, and that's where mesothelioma starts if there was asbestos in the system. And then finally, the heart, when the lungs take things in, the aerosols, the gases, they go into the lungs and eventually into the bloodstream to the right side of the heart, and then out to the rest of the body through the aorta and through the rest of these vessels. And the point I'm getting at here is once something's in the bloodstream, it goes to the rest of the body. I'd like to invite you then to get the rest of these 360 models. There's about 1,000 of them that show all the diseases from 9/11. In fact, almost all diseases of humanity, many of the procedures and others. It's only part of a curriculum that helps any citizen for free get started as a basic lessons learned member to help make their community stronger. But first, make sure you take care of yourself. Thank you for being a force for health. By the way, when you log in, take a look at the book. It's one of the things included in there online. I narrate it, or you can choose to read it. I want you to be thinking next about what lessons you've learned from the disasters in your life. What can you share with others in the community? We need each other. We're in this together. All right. Remember how it was after 9/11? It still needs to be that way. We're in this together as humans, not just in America, but around the world, with the disasters that are potentially ahead of us and our next generation. Dr. Rob Gilliot, the Force for Health, signing off today on September 11th, 2023.